without a doubt, one of my favorite types of characters in any game is a support character. A support character is supposed to bring two things: variation and strategy. If you can master both of those things, you can make a lot of different things happen and make the game a lot more fun. Like, for example, in Injustice 2 Mobile, there's a lot of different support characters that you can use. Not all of them are going to be good in every game mode. Like, for example, most support characters are not going to be that good in raids. There's very specific teams you want to use. However, if you want to go to arena, support characters really shine because you can make a lot of different types of teams and make a lot of different types of teams that you could use for having fun. So today we're going to be talking about all the different support characters in Injustice 2 Mobile and ranking them in a tier list. There's a lot of different tiers that we have. We have 6 different ones. S is the best one. A is the second to best one. Tier B is the third to best one. Tier C is the third to worst. Tier D is going to be the second to worst. And then Tier F is going to be the absolute worst tier. In other words, those are going to be the worst support characters in the game that even in arena is not really going to have any use. So with that being said, let's start the video. Also, just to let you guys know, I'm still using the same template that I used when I ranked all the characters in the game. So you can see all the characters in the game right here, but I already organized it so that the only characters that pop up in the beginning are going to be the support characters. I think it's all the way up until Classic Superman. That's when the support characters stop. But anyways, the first character we're going to talk about is going to be Shazam. This character is for sure an S tier character. I didn't even mean to put him as the first character to pop up right here, but yeah, this character is definitely really good. He can heal up the entire team with his Special 2 and his Special 3, and for his Arcane and Might teammates, he's going to give them 100% more attack. This character is a really simple character to understand, and because of that, everybody pretty much agrees that he's a really good character. There's not that many complications with the character. Just get a good Might character like King of Atlantis Aquaman, get a good Arcane character like Black Adam, and this guy is going to be working for those teams really well. Moving on to the next character is going to be Nightwing. I'm going to put Nightwing in the B tier list just because he seems like a really good character at first for somebody that you might want to use for raids, because every single time he blocks, he generates power. However, none of the bosses have really high fast attack. So in other words, you're not going to be generating power that fast. However, when you go to arena, a lot of characters nowadays have a lot of fast attack hits, which means that when you generate power with Nightwing, it's going to be a lot. If you're going to fight somebody like Reverse Flash or Multiverse Flash, they have 3 fast attack hits, which is going to generate about 1 power bar for every single hit that Nightwing blocks. This makes him really good in arena. He's a really good support character for arena, just really not that great for raids, or at least nobody has found a really good use for him in raids so far. Also, not to mention, his special abilities are really fun to use because all of them have different effects. The next character we're going to look at is going to be AAA Batteries, Atlantean Armored Aquaman. I'm going to put him in the C tier just for one reason. I don't think this character is that much of a support character. Yes, he can support his entire team by healing them up with his passive. However, I think this character is a little bit more of a damage dealer type of character. Well, I guess I can't really call him a damage dealer because he's not top 6, but I feel like he's trying to be, you know? Like, he hasn't really made up his mind as to what he wants to do. His special abilities tell me that he kind of wants to do more than just support the team, but his passive supports the team. So therefore, I don't think he's that great of a support character. When you put him in a team to go fight in arena or even in raids, he's going to be the guy that you want to use. You can heal up another damage dealer. I just don't really see that happening. I feel like this is one of those characters that you have to use when you're in the game with that character. So we're going to put him in the C tier, not to say that he's a bad character, you know, just not the greatest support character in the game, even though he does have a supporting passive. The next character we're going to look at is Ace Green Arrow. Ace Green Arrow, again, like Nightwing, is a really good character to use in arena, not that much in raids though. This guy basically locks the power generation from the opponent for a couple of seconds whenever you tag him out. It's a really fun passive to use, especially if you have characters that can kill opponents really quick in arena, because you don't have to worry about the opponent generating any power. And if you have somebody like Nightwing, your opponent's not going to generate any power with Ace Green Arrow, and you're going to be generating power with Nightwing or Dr. Fate or Power Girl or something like that. So this character is definitely a lot more easier to use. He's a lot more versatile too, because you can use him in any team. He's not a specific character, and he's just fun overall. Not to mention, he's also really easy to get as well from the challenge mode. The next character we're going to look at is going to be Atrocitus. Atrocitus is a character I kind of want to put in the A tier, but just because nobody has really found a good use for him in raids, I'm going to put him in the B tier. Really, really good character to use in arena because of that reflective shield, and he can power swap, and he can also give you a little bit of lethal damage, or he pretty much gives you lethal chance. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. And that's actually really good for arena because if the opponent blocks, it's pretty much going to be going right through the block, and you're going to be doing 10% more damage. And with the opponents that you're going to fight in arena, that's really good, but not that good for raids. So he's a fun character, but again, not useful in raids. We're going to put him in the B tier. And the exact same thing is going to go for Emerald Green Lantern. Emerald Green Lantern is a good character as well. I think he's a little bit better than Atrocitus because he gives you a little bit more damage because one of his buffs gives you 100% more crit damage. However, again, like Atrocitus and like Ace Green Arrow and Nightwing, nobody has really found a great use for him in raids just yet. I feel like Atrocitus and Emerald Green Lantern can be put somewhere in raids. I don't know where, but I feel like they might be able to fit in some team. But for right now, they're only really, really good, really A-tier characters for arena. The next character we're going to talk about is going to be Arkham Knight Batman. I talked about this in the last video that I made. Arkham Knight Batman is definitely a really, really good character. And if it wasn't for Raven, he would be coming in the S tier. Let me explain. This character was mainly used with Heartbreaker Harley Quinn because of his Special 2. His Special 2 can stun any boss, even if they're stun resistant. Now that's really, really great because Heartbreaker Harley Quinn does a lot of damage and does 300% more damage when the opponent is stunned. However, with the introduction of Raven, Heartbreaker Harley Quinn could do 1 billion damage with Raven, whereas with Arkham Knight Batman, I think the most I've ever seen was like 250 million, right? So unfortunately, most people just want to use Heartbreaker Harley Quinn with Raven nowadays instead of with Arkham Knight Batman. And Raven and Arkham Knight Batman are both legendary characters. So if you're going to struggle to get one character, it might as well be Raven. However, if you don't have Raven, Arkham Knight Batman is still a really, really good support character for Heartbreaker Harley Quinn, just nowhere near as good as he was a couple of months ago. Anyways, the next character we're going to talk about is going to be Silver Bane. I'm going to put Bane in the D tier list just for a couple of reasons. I know he's a silver character, so I don't want to judge this character that much, which is the only reason why I'm not putting him in the F tier. But if a support character is going to support a damage dealer, most of the time, regardless of if the support character gives your damage dealer critical attack chance, which is what Bane does, you're still going to max out your critical attack chance for a damage dealer, especially since Bane isn't really useful in raids. So all of the damage dealers that you're going to make for raids are pretty much going to be maxed out in their crit. So there's no real reason why you want to use Bane as a support character unless you want to take advantage of him doing a little bit more basic attack damage for himself and for his team. I have used this to my benefit under some specific events with my Justice League team. However, it's still not good enough, in my opinion, to put him in the C tier because he's not really that desirable to be used in arena. And he just doesn't really bring that much to the table, especially nothing that I can't get from any other character like Atrocitus or Emerald Green Lantern. Again, Emerald Green Lantern would give me 100% more critical attack damage. Aquaman can at least handle himself. He can support himself and his team, and he's got an Armor Pierce Special 1, so Bane is going to be going in the D tier. Maybe if he had some effects on his special abilities, I would put him a little bit higher, but not right now. The next character we're going to talk about is going to be Batman Ninja Robin. Batman Ninja Robin is a support character for one of the best teams out there, which is Batman Ninja Catwoman and Batman Ninja Gorilla Grodd, or in other words, the Batman Ninja Team. The Batman Ninja Team can do a lot of damage because of Catwoman and the Beta Club, and even without the Beta Club, it's still one of the best teams in the game, definitely top 6. And one of the reasons why is because of Robin. So I'm going to be putting Robin in the S tier because he definitely deserves it for supporting one of the top 6 teams in the game. Anyways, the next character we're going to look at is going to be, I was about to say Aquaman, sorry, Armored Superman. Armored Superman is a character I don't really like that much. A lot of people like to use him as a beginner because he is really easy to get, and he also gives you a little bit of defense, which, I mean, when you become better at the game, that's just not something you worry about. Your gameplay pretty much makes up for not having defense if your character doesn't have defense. But he is a easy character to get for beginners, and he does have a reflective shield, so I'm going to put him in the C tier just because he supports noobs. Not necessarily, that's actually a good way to put it. He doesn't necessarily support a lot of good teams, but he supports noobs in the beginning. So I'm going to put him in the C tier for right now. The next character is going to be Blademaster Robin. I'm going to put him in the D tier just because he's supposed to be a combo builder, but he's not that great at being a combo builder. Reverse Flash is a far better combo builder, and he's really easy to get as long as you're in a league. So there's really no reason why you want to have Batman Ninja Robin. I've never once thought about using this character in Arena, definitely not in Raids, because there's no... By the way, I just want to mention this. Any character below A pretty much doesn't have any use in Raids. I probably should have said that sooner, but I just thought about that right now. But anyways, yeah, Blademaster Robin has no use in Raids, and he's not useful in Arena, nor have I ever thought about putting him in a fun team for Arena. So he's going to be going in the D tier for sure. The next character we're going to look at is going to be Batman Ninja Gorilla Grodd. Grodd, again, is a part of the Batman Ninja team, and he's goated, man. He makes the opponents have less defense, and he lets your team do a little bit more damage, and he also lets you power generate with your basic attack hits. So this character is for sure one of the best support characters in the game. Also, just a good support character for the Batman Ninja team, which again, is one of the top 6 teams in the game. Definitely deserves being in the S tier. The next character is going to be Brainiac. A lot of you guys were telling me that I should have put Brainiac in the S tier. And you know what, bro? I'm going to give it to you. I'll put Brainiac in the S tier because, first of all, he's really easy to get. You can get him off of the Versus Challenge. So with a little bit of patience, you're going to be able to unlock the character and the gears. That's a really big bonus because a lot of legendaries are hard to get. And also getting their gears is a pain. So just this character being free is great. Also, he's a really, really good support character for Black Manta, which is what most people like to use him with, but also because of his special 1, giving a lot of lethal attack damage, he's also a good support character for a lot of different characters that you want to use out there, specifically legendaries, which was kind of the reason why I wanted to put this character in the A tier, but I mean, I can't just disregard the fact that he's good with Black Manta. You know, that's a really good team in the game, top 6 teams in the game, and he's one of the support characters. So I'm just going to put him in the S tier. And just the cherry on top is being able to get the character for free. So Brainiac is going in the S tier. The next character we're going to look at is going to be Captain Cold. Captain Cold, honest to God, I'm not even going to go look at his passive. I think he gives your team like critical attack resistance or whatever. It has something to do with critical attack resistance. My point is, this character is absolutely useless. I have seen this character in Arena a handful of times. Just a couple of times, man. Even if you want to build a fun team for Arena and you don't want to focus on doing a lot of damage, you're not going to use Captain Cold. You're just not, bro. If you block, congratulations. You're already doing what Captain Cold can do with his passive. So he basically just takes up a slot for a character that doesn't need to be taken up. You know, you can use somebody else. Even if they're a bad support character like Blademaster Robin, I would rather use him because at least he can build up a combo, right? He could do something unique. But with Captain Cold, you're not really getting anything different than what you would get if you just blocked. So he's going to be going in the F tier. Absolute trash character. The next character we're going to look at is going to be Classic Superman. Classic Superman is a really cool character, man. Personally, I like to use this character as a damage dealer in Arena because he does a lot of damage with his special 3. Not enough to make him a top damage dealer for raids. However, what makes him really good in raids is his special 2 because it can decrease the defense of the opponent. And under some cases, he's going to be better than Shazam. Shazam can give you 100% attack. However, if the opponent has a lot of defense, that's not going to be as good because the defense would kind of override the attack. So in those scenarios, taking away defense from the opponent would be better than giving yourself more damage, which is why Classic Superman is so good. For those battles where the opponent has a lot of defense, slap on Classic Superman, use a couple of special 2s, and you're good. You're good. You're going to be doing a decent amount of damage after you take away the defense from the opponent. So this character is actually really diverse, at least for my roster, because I use him in raids and I use him in arena. He definitely deserves being A tier. The next character we're going to talk about is going to be EPI. EPI, one of the best support characters in the entire game, without a doubt, for the League of Anarchy team. The League of Anarchy team has Heartbreaker Harley Quinn. And like I said, with Raven, the League of Anarchy team does 1 billion damage. More than 1 billion damage, actually. So EPI is one of the main reasons why she supports her team in giving them dot damage, which is kind of where most of the damage comes from for the League of Anarchy team. So EPI is definitely an S tier character. Not to mention that if your characters are low on health, don't worry about it. EPI can heal up her League of Anarchy team with her dot damage. So yeah, she's definitely S tier for sure. The next character we're going to look at is going to be Horrific Scarecrow. Horrific Scarecrow is kind of like a slight knockoff or a slight downgrade of Dr. Fate and Power Girl. He basically does the exact opposite from their passives. He makes the opponent's special abilities cost more instead of making your special abilities cost less. Some people like that. Some people say it's the same thing. However, I disagree. Because of tag-ins and the way that you generate power with tag-ins, I feel like Dr. Fate and Power Girl have a much better advantage than Horrific Scarecrow. Especially because nowadays, there's certain ways that you can make the AI just not use their special abilities. For example, if you're playing a perfect match and you're using your special abilities properly and you're swiping back properly, you're tagging in properly, a lot of times the opponent is not going to use their special abilities in the first place for raids. So that's a pretty big benefit. There's no need for Horrific Scarecrow in those scenarios. However, in arena, he's a fun character for sure, because a lot of what the opponent's going to do in arena is going to be a little wonky because they can tag in and out, right? You can't just lock a character, an opponent, into doing whatever you want them to do, because eventually they're going to tag out and you're going to have to figure out what to do. In those situations, Horrific Scarecrow is a really good character because at least it postpones their special abilities usage of the opponent. So that's really, really good. That's why he's going to be coming in the B tier. The next character we're going to talk about is Just League Aquaman. I wanted to put Just League Aquaman in the A tier just because he's really good support for the Justice League team. However, it's a little bit more complicated than that, because even though the Justice League team is one of the best teams out there, really good for raids as well, there's a lot of different variations that you can go with the Justice League team. Like, for example, some people like to use Flash, some people like to use Cyborg, some people like to use Superman, some people like to use Aquaman, right? He's a good character. However, depending on how you want to build your Justice League team, you can look at Aquaman a couple of different ways. So just because I want to make it safe, I'm going to put him in the B tier. However, I would say that out of all of these support characters, he would be the best one, because giving armor pierce for your teammates is really, really good. For some reason, I can't... Oh, there we go. Yeah. So that would be kind of like the way that I would rank Aquaman between all the different B tier characters. He would be the best one. He would be really close to A tier. But anyways, moving on to the next character is going to be Batman. Just League Batman. I'm going to put Just League Batman in the absolute trash tier. Here's why. He's basically a bad Aquaman, pretty much. After using your special abilities, you can do armor pierce for a couple of seconds. But again, Aquaman already gives your team armor pierce forever. 100% chance, actually. It says it in the passive. You have a 100% chance of armor pierce. So why would I want to use Batman where I could trigger a special ability and do armor pierce for a couple of seconds? That seems like a complete waste and a really bad design of a character, especially with Aquaman in the game. Also, not to mention that he does make it so that your Just League team can take one free special ability from the opponent without taking any damage. But let's be honest, nowadays that's really not that big of a deal. Armored Superman can do the same thing, technically not to the same extent because it's not going to apply to your teammates. However, if you can't handle one special ability from the opponent, you're not good enough in the first place. So once you do get good enough, you can handle one extra special ability from the opponent. So after a while, this character becomes totally useless. So I'm going to put him in the F tier. Anyways, the next character we're going to look at is going to be Just League Flash. I'm going to put him in the S tier. I don't know if I put him in the A tier or the S tier for the ranking video where I ranked all characters. However, it's a little bit different here. We're comparing this guy to a lot of different support characters, right? This character is really good to use when your teams have a lot of basic attack damage like Black Manta. Because of that, I do consider Just League Flash to be an S tier character. He's also really good with the Just League team, so it's not like he's just a support character. You can make him a damage dealer. So if you look at it through that lens, I do believe that Just League Flash is an S tier support character and definitely earns this spot. The next character we're going to look at is going to be John Stewart Green Lantern. I'm going to put John Stewart Green Lantern in the A tier just because whenever you fight opponents that have hazards on the ground, this guy is so clutch because you're not going to be getting power drained at all. Technically, you can use somebody like Hellboy and be able to do like some sort of infinite combo or something on the right side of the map because Hellboy doesn't take any dot damage and dot damage is on the right side of the map. John Stewart Green Lantern can't do that. However, a lot of characters nowadays can have a lot of health with artifacts. They can have a lot of defense, and they could just survive a lot of different things thrown at them. So if you make your tank a proper tank, an unkillable tank, even if you are going to take dot damage from the right side of the screen, if your opponents have hazards, you should still be fine. And not to mention, getting power drained is really, really annoying. So I would rather have John Stewart Green Lantern over Hellboy, and definitely an A tier character for those different situations. Kind of like classic Superman. He's not going to be a character you're going to use always, but when you need a character like John Stewart Green Lantern, it's really nice to have him right there. So anyways, moving on to the next character, it's going to be Nightmare Batman. I'm going to put Nightmare Batman in the C tier just for one reason alone. A lot of opponents nowadays, a lot of characters nowadays, do a lot of basic attack damage. So the fact that you can reflect it with Nightmare Batman is really, really cool. However, I will say, I would much rather just do a lot of basic attack damage myself and just compete with the teams that I'm fighting against in Arena. And also, this guy has no use in raids at all. I can say that pretty confidently, even though nobody really uses him in raids. There's going to be no team out there anytime soon that's going to be using Nightmare Batman as a good support character. So I'm going to put him in the C tier because he doesn't really bring anything to the table that I think I can get from any other character. Anyways, the next character we're going to look at is going to be Multiverse Flash. Multiverse Flash is going to be going in the S tier just because, again, we're comparing him to a lot of different support characters. And this guy supports his team very, very nicely. He gives Multiverse Armored Supergirl, which is the damage dealer for the Multiverse team, a lot of critical attack chance and a lot of critical attack damage. That saves you a lot of slots to be adding more attack for your damage dealer, which of course is going to let you do more damage. So this guy is absolutely goated. Not to mention, he also has a 3-hit fast attack. So this character is stacked. He's really, really good. The next character we're going to look at is going to be Martian Manhunter. I'm going to put Martian Manhunter in the A tier just because a lot of people have been telling me recently that he's really good to use with Silver Banshee. And I got to agree. I've seen some gameplay. He's definitely the best character to use with Silver Banshee. However, I'm kind of hesitant to put him in the A tier. I kind of want to put him in the B tier just because this character is a pain to get. But you can kind of say the same thing about Arkham Knight Batman, right? And since he's a support character for the top 6 teams, I'm just going to go ahead and put him in the A tier. Also in Arena, he has a lot of fast attack hits, man. So if you want to make this guy a damage dealer for Arena, go for it. Especially since all of his special abilities have some sort of effect. It lets you do even more fast attack hits. So yeah, I'm going to put this character in the A tier because he's good in raids. One of the best support characters in raids for the top 6 teams and a good character in Arena. The next character we're going to look at is going to be Power Girl. Power Girl is definitely an S tier character when you compare her to a lot of the support characters in the game. She reduces your special ability cost by 2, and that's pretty much it. That's all you really got to know about this character. She's a really simple character like Shazam, which I love. These type of characters I really, really like because you can put them in any team out there, even for Arena, and it's going to just greatly increase the usage of that team and the efficiency of that team. So she definitely deserves being in the S tier. Raven. Let's talk about Raven. Raven is right now the best character in the game for sure. You could talk about characters doing a lot of damage and damage dealers being really, really good and the best type of characters in the game. But there's just no denying Raven is the main reason why a lot of these damage dealers nowadays are just completely decimating some of these bosses in raids. All right? There is no arguing. Her passive 1 gives her entire team a lot of damage buffs because she applies darkness to the opponent. Granted, that darkness is timed, but if you can stack it up to 5 times, just go do one special ability with your character and just notice the insane amount of damage increase that Raven can add to your characters. And again, I've said this many times before, with Heartbreaker Harley Quinn, this team right now is doing more than 1 billion damage. Enough said. Let's move on to the next character. Just like Cyborg. I'll put him in the S tier. I didn't want to put Just League Cyborg as a support character because he's kind of a support character and a damage dealer. But I'm going to put him as a support character because he is the best support character for the Just League team. And the Just League team, like I said, is one of the best teams out there for raids and also for arena. I love speedrunning arena with characters that do a lot of basic attack damage, which I can do with Just League Cyborg. So this character definitely deserves being in the S tier. The next character we're going to look at is going to be Red Hood. All right, man. I'm going to put Red Hood in the B tier, okay? A lot of people say that this is the best character to use for the Multiverse team. All right, cool. Maybe he is. But the thing is that I feel like if you replaced Red Hood with Emerald, Green Lantern, or Atrocitus with the Multiverse team for raids, yeah, you would be doing a little bit less damage, but it also wouldn't be that crazy. Like, Red Hood is barely the best character to use, in my opinion, with the Multiverse team. He's barely the best character. So I'm not really going to suck off this character too much because he's the best, or one of the best characters to use with the top 6 teams, because he's just not that good either, you know? And I'm also mad, bro, because this character looked really cool, but he's complete trash. I'm going to move on. I'm going to get mad. All right, let's talk about Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate, exactly the same passive as Power Girl, where he reduces your special ability cost by 2, and he also decreases the defense of the opponents by a little bit, which is really good. He's actually technically a better support character than Power Girl. But also, if you want to go look at the gameplay, Dr. Fate has an infinite combo if you add the Father Box. So this character, gameplay-wise and also strategy-wise, is a lot better than Power Girl. But even then, both characters deserve to be in the S tier just because their passives are really good. Anyways, the next character we're going to look at is going to be Speed Force the Flash. Oh, I want to put this character in the D tier, man. I'm going to put him in the... I'm sorry, I meant to say I want to put him in the F tier. I'm going to put him in the D tier. This character is greatly overrated. Yes, you can dodge attacks when you swipe. I don't know why people go bananas over that passive, but that's it. Like, that's all you could do. If this character had 3 fast attack hits, W, I would put this character in the B tier minimum, all right? But he doesn't. He's just as good of a combo builder as any other character, which kind of sucks because he's a Flash character and he can evade with swipes. That's cool. That's a good idea. But nowadays, with the Father Box and the fact that a lot of characters do a lot of fast attack, like Reverse Flash, Heartbreaker, Just League Flash, and Multiverse Flash, this guy just gets greatly reduced just because of his competition all the way down to the D tier. Anyways, the next character we're going to look at is going to be Reverse Flash. I'm going to put Reverse Flash in the A tier because he does support the Silver Banshee team. Now, I know that I said the same thing about Martian Manhunter, but Red Hood. Reverse Flash is much easier to get than Martian Manhunter. So if you don't have Martian Manhunter, you could still be doing a lot of damage with Reverse Flash and Silver Banshee in the team. So it's not like you have to have Martian Manhunter to be doing the maximum amount of damage with Silver Banshee. Or, I mean, I guess if you want to get the maximum amount of damage, you do need Martian Manhunter. But you would be doing slightly less damage if you had Reverse Flash. And he's also a really good support character. And he's a really good combo builder as well because of the 3 fast attack hits, which is basically what makes him a good support character. So he's going to be coming in the A tier for sure. Anyways, the next character I'm going to talk about is going to be Firestorm. He reduces dot damage for the entire team. That's it. We're going to put him in the F tier for sure. Trash character. Trash can. Dust Collector, you're never going to put this character in any team for arena or raids. Just forget about him. Let's move on. The next character we're going to talk about is going to be I was about to call her Heartbreaker Harley Quinn, bro. I'm losing my shit. Sorry. Batman Ninja Harley Quinn. All right. This character is not good by herself. All right. Well, I mean, it depends how you want to look at it. Okay. This character's good as long as you just have her in your roster, right? She gives her Batman Ninja team buffs by just being in your roster. Not a good character in raids, though, or arena. So don't use her anywhere, which is why I say this character isn't good by herself. But she's good when she's alone, if that makes any sense. Because you just want her in the roster and never touch her, never do anything with her. Just promote her up to 6 stars and she's going to look beautiful in your roster. Just never play with the character, okay? By the way, just to say it out there, I would put this character in the D tier based on the gameplay of this character, but because we're talking about supports, I'm going to put her in the B tier because, again, she doesn't fill up any slots for your team. Just have her in your roster. The exact same thing is going to be said with Classic Batman. He does exactly the same thing as Batman Ninja Harley Quinn, so I'm just going to put him in the B tier as well. Anyways, the next couple of characters that we're going to look at is going to be the rest of the Multiverse team. So with the Multiverse team, you only really need a Multiverse Armored Supergirl and Multiverse the Flash. Those are the best characters to use with that Multiverse team, right? That's what makes them a top 6 team. The rest of the characters in the Multiverse team are cool, but they're just kind of there for variation. They're just kind of there if you want to use them, but they're not necessarily helpful for raids. But because you can use them for a lot of different reasons in Arena, I'm just going to go ahead and put all of these characters in the B tier list. Let me drag them in really quick. So just to really quickly explain what every single character can do and bring to the table for Arena, Black Lightning basically makes it so that whenever the opponent does a special ability on you, that special ability is going to be increased by 1 power bar for the opponent. Captain Colt can help you out by helping you take a lot less basic attack damage. Green Arrow helps you by giving you a little bit more health and also giving you a little bit more damage on your special 3 because he can add a little bit of dot. However, it doesn't do it every single time. There's a chance of that happening, which kind of sucks, but whatever. He still supports the Multiverse team pretty well. Why do I keep wanting to call everybody a Batman Ninja character, man? Batwoman, Multiverse Batwoman. I would argue that Multiverse Batwoman is one of the worst characters in the Multiverse team. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put her in the C tier, and here's why. If I want to use this character in Arena, which I would because she's not an A tier or S tier character, I need her to bring me something useful. And here's just a matter of the fact. She increases the timer for the buffs on my team. Now, if I'm going to use the Multiverse team, my Multiverse Flash and Multiverse Armored Supergirl are going to kill any opponent with 1 special 3, maybe even a special 1. So adding a little bit more time to my buffs in Arena is not really going to do anything. On top of that, like I said, Red Hood is already the best character to use with the Multiverse team for raids. So let's not even talk about raids because she's just not good in raids. Let's talk about Arena. And again, she's not useful in Arena either. So for sure, she's going to be coming in the C tier. Definitely one of the worst characters for the Multiverse team. Anyways, the next character we're going to talk about is Multiverse Supergirl. Multiverse regular Supergirl. I really like this character, man. I think she's for sure one of the best tanks in the entire game because she gives you a lot of free defense. I think it's like 50% free defense. That's a lot. And also she makes it so that herself and her Multiverse team will take half the damage when they reach half of their health. That's really, really good. I've seen a lot of different teams with a super tanky Multiverse Supergirl, and it takes a minute, bro. It takes a minute if you want to kill her, especially if you're going to use somebody like Multiverse Flash and Multiverse Supergirl on the team, because they're going to be doing the damage, and they're going to be completely tanked up because of Supergirl. So she's definitely one of the best support characters for the Multiverse team, at least for Arena. The next character is going to be Multiverse White Canary, which I'm going to go ahead and put her in the C tier as well. I mean, she lets you use free special 1s, but that's only a chance. And again, I could pretty much kill anybody with just 1 single special 1 with my Multiverse Supergirl. And I don't really mind spending 5 extra seconds tagging in and out my Multiverse Flash with my Multiverse Armored Supergirl to get a little bit more power generation so I could do special 3s to the rest of the opponents. So Multiverse White Canary is cool. She might save you a little bit more time. But if you're going to be fighting somebody like a legendary team, you're not going to be using a special 1. You're going to use special 3s. So she doesn't really do that much, I think, if you're a little bit of a better player. But then again, if she is the only other multiverse character that you have with Multiverse Flash and Multiverse Armored Supergirl, that's also not that bad, you know? So maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh putting her in the C tier, but I'm going to leave her right there just because for me right now, I never touch this character and I never think about using this character either. At least with some of these characters, I do occasionally want to use these characters to make some pretty fun teams. So I'm just going to go ahead and put her in the C tier. Anyways, guys, I think that's pretty much it, man. There were some other characters that I probably could have added right here for the support characters. Like, let's look at what we have down here. Maybe somebody like Enchantress or Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. But honestly, those characters are so bad and nobody ever uses them. And also, Harley Quinn gives me a goddamn headache whenever I look at all the different passives that she has. I'm just going to put her in the F tier, bro. She's bad. She's really bad. I got nothing else to say about the character, man. She really does give me a headache, though, bro. When I look at the passives and I try to understand what this character does, I just don't get it. And I never see any gameplay of them doing a lot of damage in raids either. So just because of that alone, she's going in the F tier, all right? Oh, one character I did forget to talk about was Batman. I'm going to put Batman in the... Ooh, I'm going to put him in the F tier, bro. God damn it. Oh, I didn't want to do that, bro. I didn't want to do that because I like my boy Batman. You know what I'm saying? And he's got that really cool glow, the green glow. When you max him out, it's really cool. But I got to put him in the F tier. There's really nowhere where you really want to use this character. Like, even in Arena, again, your characters are going to have enough critical attack chance to where you're going to be fine. You don't need to really boost that up. I would rather do more damage with my special abilities or use my special abilities quicker. You know what I'm saying? So, and also not to mention that this guy's a worse Bane. He does the same thing as Bane. He gives your team critical attack chance, but Bane does give you more, and he also lets you do more basic attack damage. So it wouldn't make sense if I put Batman right here where Bane is. He's got to go in the F tier, bro. He's got to go in the F tier. But yeah, anyways, with that being said, I know some of you guys are going to tell me, why didn't you add a character like Grid, right? I don't feel like Grid is a support character. He doesn't really work for anybody. He just kind of works for himself. So I'm just going to go ahead and not put him as a support character. And the same can be said for a lot of these different characters. Cyborg is a good character. He's a good tank. He supports himself, but he doesn't really support the team. So I don't consider him a support character at all. But I think this, dude, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm happy with the way this looks. These make sense. These S tier and A tier characters make sense. I like that the B tier characters are more characters that I put in Arena for fun. And then C, D, and F tiers are just kind of like meh. You know, like meh support characters. I'm going to put Aquaman in B though, bro. I don't want to disrespect my boy. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, guys, with that being said, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope you guys have a good day. Stay safe and stay clean. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you very much for watching. And also let me know what you think of my list. Do you think it's accurate? Do you think it's not accurate? What characters would you move around? Just let me know down in the comments section. I'm going to read all of that stuff. All right. I'll see you guys later. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and stay clean.